All right, we're joined now by Michael Sukkar, who, as I've been saying, holds the 16th most marginal seat in the country for the Coalition. Thanks very much for being there.
Thanks very much, Peter.
Are you beside yourself with rage at your party choosing to dump Tony Abbott as Prime Minister? You came out very strongly in his favour. You hold a seat which is obviously on the line. You wanted Tony Abbott, presumably, because you thought you were a better chance of holding your seat with him as Prime Minister.
Well, Peter, I wouldn't describe it as rage. We've obviously had a very tumultuous couple of days. I was very public in my support of the former PM. But the party room's made a decision now, and we lock together as a party. The party room is where we, as you know, make these big calls, and we abide by the verdict of the party room. And now, you know, as a local member, as you say, the 16th most marginal and the most marginal Liberal-held seat in Victoria, the job is just to rededicate myself to the issues that are important to my electorate. And to be honest, that was the case before this week, and it will continue to be the case. And as I said, it's been a tumultuous couple of days, but now we lock together. And
Mr. Sukkar, how does it work? I mean, going forward, you wanted Tony Abbott as Prime Minister. I understand it's a team game and you've got to swing across to whoever the leader is, but you didn't want Malcolm Turnbull as the leader. You didn't agree that the economic direction of the party was incorrect and needed changing. You didn't think that there needed to be wholesale changes on the front bench, which there inevitably will be when he announces the reshuffle. So you'll be defending something that you didn't actually support.
Peter, fair point, but I tell you what we are all united in, and that is to ensure that Labor is not back on the Treasury benches, because that is the one thing we are united in, because we saw what 6 years of disastrous Labor government left this country. That's why I left the private sector to get into politics. It was for the country and for our children and grandchildren, and that doesn't change. And quite frankly, where the Labor Party at right now is they are in no way repudiating the positions that took this country in such a terrible direction for 6 years. They haven't learnt. So we are absolutely united in ensuring that our plans for this country
well, you say that you're united.
Ultimately,
but you say that you're united, and I believe you're united in that purpose. But and I'm well aware of your background as well. You gave up a high-paid career as a successful lawyer in the corporate world to move into politics. You've done that, but now you're in a situation where the Prime Minister that you wanted is describing himself as having been white-anted when doing his speech on the way out. He says that there were plotters that had been scheming against him for a substantial period of time. In his speech to the party room on Monday night, I understand that Tony Abbott said that you know, what can't happen going forward is what happened to me, because if that happens, Malcolm Turnbull will fail. I mean, how do you stay united given that sort of rhetoric coming from the man that you wanted to still be the PM?
Well, Peter, we're not a personality cult. We're a team. We have ideals, we have values. As many people have said over the last couple of days, we bring the two strands of liberalism and conservatism together. They are the values that we are fighting for, and we're not a personality cult. I'd be disingenuous if I said that you know, the Prime Minister of our country didn't matter. Of course it matters who our Prime Minister is, but we are absolutely united in ensuring that our twin values of liberalism and conservatism are what ultimately put forward to the Australian people and make our country greater than it is today.
You're more conservative,
so in that sense,
though.
we're united. I take your point, Peter.
You're more conservative than smaller Liberal, I suppose, whereas the new Prime Minister is more smaller Liberal than Conservative, if I can put it that way. Are you worried that the broad church of the Liberal Party might see, under his leadership, the Conservatives, if you like, shuffled out to stage left?
No, I'm not worried at all. I think that everybody appreciates, and I'm sure the Prime Minister appreciates, that that in order to have a successful, well-functioning government, that we will need to ensure that both of those strands of our party, liberalism and conservatism, are well represented. And I'm very confident the decisions that will be made over coming days will reflect that. And it's on that basis that I can say that we will be a united team. This will be the team that goes forward to the election. There's absolutely no doubt about that. So we are dedicated. I have reaffirmed the goals that I have for my electorate. And, you know, the great Liberal Party has been described as a soaring eagle, and the two wings are liberalism and conservatism, and it can't fly without one of those wings, and I'm very, very confident that that will be the position that's adopted by the leadership of our party.
What was I mean, we're going to pick through the entrails a little, and then obviously in the weeks ahead we're going to be looking forward rather than backwards, as we're still doing within the shock period of the same week where this happened. But what was the bigger problem, do you think, that Tony Abbott faced? Was it white Annie, or was it problems and missteps within his own government?
Well, Peter, to be honest, I'll leave that up to others. I'm a humble backbencher. I've been very, very focused on my electorate. It's fair to say that the events of this week caught some of us on the backbench somewhat by surprise, so I haven't ruminated over that to any extent. So those sort of questions are probably best even left to you. I watch your show all the time, PVO, and you're the one. Some pretty good and considered opinions. Yes, it's me. I'm the one. But, you know, I think your opinion on this, in some respects, will be more valid than mine because I'm a player. I'm not a commentator. Fair enough. Fair enough. All right, Michael Sukkar, we appreciate you joining us here on Newsday. Thanks very much for your company. Thanks so much, Peter.